You smell that? That smells like... That smells like a fraud. Easy! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, who would have thought we'd start off this 5-week break for One Piece on such a spicy, on such a, such a tangy note? Let me get some water real quick. My goodness. Woo! Because you can see the thumbnail. Like, whoa. Fraud? Dracula Mihawk? As if like he is not the world's greatest swordsman. As if like Mihawk will be simply one-shotted by Rono or Zoro when they meet. Actually, even City of the Rain will beat Mihawk before he even meets Zoro. Oh, what fraud? Excuse me, sir? What the f is going on? It's not me. Nani? Whoa, surprised, it's not me. I am simply, you know, walking by and I'm seeing chaos unfold. I'm just gonna pop a seat, eat some popcorn, and just enjoy the chaos unfold. And this chaos is brought to us by my man, Mr. Morge. Morge on Twitter got cats riled up, did a video and got cats riled up to the point where in my 1086 chapter review that I did, I had my premiere, and in that stream, cats were talking about Mihawk versus Zoro, even though I didn't bring up anything. Correct, sir. Morge got the fandom abuzz, all right? He shook the hornet's nest, all right? He unleashed chaos. He opened Pandora's box, and madness ensued. Because, of course, it's Zoro, and it's Mihawk. And when these two guys are brought in any fashion, chaos will always ensue.
This is blasphemy. This is madness.
How'd it all start off? He did a video talking about basically why he believes that Zoro versus Mihawk will not be the final fight Zoro has in the series. This is a hot, spicy take that I have shared. I'm not gonna lie, I have shared it for sure, because there's other people you could argue could be worthy of Zoro's final fight come the end of the series outside of Mihawk. Then there was someone that noted that on Twitter, and his response to that on Twitter was, and I quote, "Mihawk isn't going to be Zoro's final opponent, since the final conflict is with the Celestial Dragons. Zoro will fight someone stronger than Mihawk, whether his fans like it or not. Question is whether or not it will be a swordsman or a swordsman plus double fruit, in which case Mihawk will still be the world's strongest swordsman." Then there are various other tweets that he does, follow tweets, like for example, for anyone that thinks Mihawk is Zoro's final opponent, do you think Mihawk fights on the world government side, or do you think final war is among the pirates and not against the world government, or do you think that Zoro versus Mihawk comes after the final war as the true final battle because Zoro is the MC? Woo! Then we have, personally, I think Mihawk is the world's strongest swordsman, but it's very unlikely he's Zoro's final and strongest opponent in general, as final conflict is likely against the Celestial Dragons. Whoever Zoro faces on the Celestial Dragon side likely won't be just a swordsman. Example, Nosjiro also has a double fruit. That's the theory. Morge does have other Twitter posts on his Twitter page talking about this topic, but you do get the general sense of what he's talking about. And the reason why this topic caught my eye is because I do have a video or two in this break talking about Mihawk and Zoro and the final fights of certain characters and things like that. So I figure get some content out there referring to this topic in a minor way, because Morge's tweets in his video have put this in the limelight.
To get us all in the right mindset.
Here's the thing. Is it really that big of a deal if Zoro vs. Mihawk is not his final fight? I said before, and I say it again here too, that I think it is possible, very possible, for Zoro to be the world's greatest swordsman going into the final war of the series, especially if Luffy is already the Pirate King. If Luffy is already the Pirate King going into the final war of the series, then why can't Zoro be the world's greatest swordsman at that point in time too? Why want to delay that when Luffy's already king of the pirates? Doesn't really make much sense, particularly when we know that Mihawk is the one that gives us the pecking order of what it means to be the world's greatest swordsman versus what it means to be Pirate King. Pirate King and achieving that status is a harder, more difficult, more strenuous task and journey than simply being the world's greatest swordsman. Furthermore, we see Oda setting up the smoke. Buggy is officially in the race for the One Piece. So Crocodile and Mihawk, they can't duck the smoke anymore. And that reminds me, I have talked to another YouTuber about this topic too, about the race for the One Piece, Randy Troy. And one of his particular ideas he has about Zoro and Mihawk is that they'll have their fight in a Davy back fight. Okay. Whoa. Wow. It's not gonna be like a foxy joke, tomfoolery, Davy back fight. No, it's gonna be a serious, balls to the wall, life on the line, the fate of the universe on the line, Davy back fight. And then Zoro and Mihawk can have their fight there. And let's say even involves the Blackbeard pirates, because we know that somewhere on Full Lead Island, who is there? And even though there are some crazy Mihawk and Perona fanfics, I've seen them. Woo-hoo! Viewer discretion advised. It is a safe bet that Mihawk would care about Perona's safety if she was, let's say, captured and gonna be on the chopping block for execution. He'd probably make a move trying to help her out, I would say without a doubt. I say all these things to indicate that Oda is ready to position Mihawk somewhere in the final saga to get ready for the fight against Zoro. And some folks might feel, for some odd reason, that it's too soon for Mihawk and Zoro to have like their fight, let's say, in the next 2 to 3 arcs. But the thing about it is that Zoro right now is world recognized as a master swordsman. It's in his wanted poster in 1058, Master Swordsman Pirate Hunter Zoro. So for example, just how like Roger had the great pirate title in his bounty before he became king of the pirates in the Odin flashback, Zoro has the master swordsman title before he ultimately becomes what? The world's greatest swordsman. And considering how Emu and the Gorosei are getting a lot of hype and a lot of push, as well as Garling and the Holy Knights, and how we know in the story, upcoming real soon, there's going to be an event on Egghead Island that's gonna shock, stun, flabbergast the world. And who's coming there? St. J. Garcia Saturn. So even though right now the Strats have no real investment on taking on Emu and the Gorosei in that clique, after Egghead Island that could flip, and Luffy and company are seeking the smoke against Emu. And because the scope and the scale and the magnitude of what Emu brings to the table is on a far, far, far larger scale than just simply being the world's strongest swordsman, then those that are close to Emu, they would be able to match that in some way. So in comparison, they would be stronger than someone like Mihawk, at least on paper. Because I'm really not too sure about the power of the Gorosei even now. Are their powers different related, or are they shadow powers of some kind, like they're Heartless in Kingdom Hearts? And maybe those powers are given to them by Emu. This is why I am more confident in someone like Garling being strong rather than, let's say, the Gorosei be uber extra mega powerful. Unique powers for sure, but how powerful are they really? Emu is clearly the main carry, and it's very possible that those that are gonna be his wingmen in this final war, they're going to be more powerful than Mihawk. Now, if the treasure is not found, okay, let's say that the One Piece Final War happens before we find the One Piece treasure. I know that Arthur, Library of Ohara, he has pushed this agenda before. In the timeline, it's actually the final war, and then we find the One Piece treasure, and then we have Luffy's final dream, and then that's it, the story is over. And Oda has noted too, I believe, that One Piece is gonna be the final manga he draws, which I would argue kind of puts a monkey wrench in the idea that some folks, including Christian of the Riverforce podcast, are pushing out there, the idea that Zoro vs. Mihawk should take place in an epilogue after the story is literally over. To have, oh my God. No! To have Zoro versus Mihawk when literally the main character investment is removed from the story just seems like horrendous writing, because none of the Strats' dreams, including Zoro's dream, is going to surpass Luffy's dream. They're not Kid's crew. Hence the reason why in Thriller Bark, they said that they would give up their lives to try and save Luffy from Bartholomew Kuma. Hence the reason why Mihawk talked to Zoro before the time skip. He said, "You have found something more important than your goals." Things like that. All the Straw Hats' dreams do not beat Luffy's dream. Luffy's dream is the top dream, period. End of story. Like, literally. End of story. Seven Deadly Sins tried doing robust, very important, like crucial epilogues, and that didn't work out so well. And I'm hoping Oda will not make the same mistake here. For minor things, have at it. But for Zoro versus Mihawk,
no sir, I don't like it.
Is Mihawk a fraud?
Say it.
No. I don't think Whitebeard was a fraud when he was the world's strongest man, nor Kaido as the world's strongest creature. But even though Kaido was the world's strongest creature, he was clearly not the final opponent for Monkey D. Luffy. And I can see Mihawk following suit. And you still do not need it to be Zoro's final fight to make it all make sense, because that emotional value is still there.
Correct.
Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this topic. I'm going to see you cats on the flip side. Make sure to, of course, rate the video with a thumbs up if you enjoy my content, subscribe to the channel, and click on that bell to join the notification squad. Peace out.
See you. Bye bye.